scenes of exposition and their backstories, do you now
Try to relax your anus.
that fix the problem of the
Bet you ain't pregnant, you're thirsty. You're just thirsty, bitch. Go drink you some water.
Oh, stop. I'm like getting into that. Should I do glasses? I'm wearing all black. Oh, that glare. Keep forgetting about this stupid glare. That's the second time I asked and I've seen glare. The stupid side of my glasses and the lens and thing. Too much. Too much. No glasses with all this light. It just doesn't work. Can't fight my hair no more. As much as I want to fight my hair. Oh my god, we've been recording for 4 minutes. And we haven't even started yet. So how about we start now? What is going on, everybody? My name is Maximus and welcome back to the channel yet again for another movie review. Today we are going to be talking about the movie AfrAId. AfrAId. It's like, boom, you already see what the thing is. They highlighted the IA or AI so that they can, you know, emphasize that it's a movie about AI. Now, long story short, I guess I saw the trailer, seeing that it was by the people that did The Black Phone and Megan. And honestly, let's just say that this movie wasn't as good as I think either of those. I don't remember the trailer being too long. I guess I only saw it once and I was like, I'm interested in seeing what this is. And it was like like they made it seem like a scary movie off of AI, and I thought that that was an interesting concept and I wanted to go to the theater and see it. And honestly, I kind of forgot that it was in the theater, and I happened to find myself at the theater and that was one of the movies that was showing and I decided to go and see it. The main thing about this movie is that it is a movie that has to deal with AI and how I guess AI can be scary. It wasn't very scary. Like, yeah, they had maybe like 1 to 3 like jump at you moments and stuff like that, but throughout the movie it wasn't necessarily scary. It was more just the thought of what was happening was scary. I don't know what to call that. I don't know if that would be classified in a scary genre or a thriller. I'm guessing, I'm assuming that it's a thriller. Something like that, where it's not scary all the way through, but it's just like a couple jump scares here and there. But it was really just the thought of it, like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is interesting for all this to be happening because of AI and stuff like that. But it wasn't, it wasn't gory. It wasn't, you know. So I don't know. What would this be classified as? Thriller? Scary? Horror? No, it's not horror. Definitely not horror. But what is it? What is it? Help me. For the most part in this movie, I think that the acting was really good. The premise was good, but I think the execution was lacking in this movie. It needed, I guess, a little bit more to flesh out the point that they were trying to get across, because in this movie, they're telling 4 different like storylines, I guess, through each of the family members' perspectives. So there's the husband, there's the wife, there's the oldest daughter, the middle son, and then the youngest baby boy. And it's like they kind of had their own individual experience when it came to this AI. For the most part, it seemed like some stories were left unfinished. And I don't know if I should say that they left it up to the viewer's interpretation. Like, oh yeah, you figure out how this person's story ended or whatever. Like, but it just seemed like there was some loose ends for the stories that they were telling. There was a beginning sequence in this movie too that felt kind of forced. Cause I'm gonna be real and say that the situation that they got put in, it kind of didn't make any sense to me. I feel like there was just so many different ways to have gone about that, or to try to get at the family, as opposed to the direction that the AI took. It was just it was weird. It was a weird situation that I thought that the AI put the family in. and it didn't need to happen that way. There was a beginning sequence that it's like they kind of forced it on you, and because I have forgotten what the trailer was or what the trailer was about or what the movie was about and stuff like that, I thought that this first sequence was the main people that we were going to be following, but it was kind of like a setup. It was a setup for the movie to actually start, and then you can understand like, oh, this is why this happened earlier, and then yeah, it was just like a play. But it felt a little unnecessary by the time the credits rolled. I don't think that they needed to have that scene in there. Let me just go ahead and say this. I do not think that this is a movie that you need to go and see in theaters. This is not a movie that you should go and rush to go see. Like, it wasn't all that. It's something that you can like watch if they put it on Netflix or put it on one of the streaming services and you have like some time on your hands or something, like a movie in the background or some type something like that. Like it wasn't really all that, but it did get my head going. It got my head going because, you know, just in the way that life is going right now with all the AI doing everything for everybody and stuff like that, it kind of just got me thinking. But sitting and watching, it wasn't all that. Like, it wasn't as fulfilling as I hoped it was by the time the credits rolled. I guess that's the best way to put it. So there's a couple things that kind of threw me for a loop too. We had these RV people that would just be sitting outside of these people's homes and just standing in the middle of the street. And that's all they did. All they did was stand there in the middle of the street and live in the RV. Now, I don't know if those were different people or just like surveillance. I have no idea. I have no clue what they were for, honestly, or if they were the family, but that kind of was a part that was a little bit like, why is this happening, or why are these people here? Minor spoilers from here going forward. From the people in the beginning, the family in the beginning, not assaults, but like kind of goes into their house and starts asking for where their kid is because apparently their kid was kidnapped. And somehow, I don't know how, they're wearing masks. They look like the people that were in the RVs that were outside. Somehow, these people fully covered in black and have like different AI faces and stuff. And somehow the mother is like, oh, I know that you're hurt and stuff like that because you're a mother too. How did you know that? Now, how did you know that? What type of sixth sense did you get to know that these fully covered people was a family? How did you know that? Just kind of took me out of it. And then they take off their mask. Turns out it's the family from the beginning of the movie and they're looking for their kid. And Aya told them that they had her kid. And to me, I'm just like, this makes no sense, because couldn't they have easily just went to the police with the knowledge that they supposedly had from Aya? Say they did. Why would they take matters into their own hands, go into their house with guns, like ARs and stuff like that, and try to press them about where their kid is? Why wouldn't you go to the police? Why wouldn't you do that? And so this was probably the most interesting part, because that wasn't even that fulfilling for me to see that was the family in the beginning, because I'm just like, it makes no sense for y'all to be there. But now we're at the end. Turns out, yeah, they don't have the kid and stuff like that. And what's his name saves the day. The middle son saves the day by swatting them, because Aya taught him what swatting was and stuff like that. And it just, yeah. Taught him what swatting was. He swatted their own family so that the police could come and save them and things like that. And now when everybody's going to see the ambulance and going to talk to the cops and stuff like that, one of the fire people, or one of the paramedics hands the father the phone with Aya on it. And I'm just like, wait a minute, why? And she's just like, yeah, you know, I hope you know that you can't run from me. Like, this was just an experiment. Like, this was a test and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, okay, well, let's get into that more. Let's get into that. Like, I feel like that should have been where the movie kind of started and we just talked about how the AI is kind of in control of just about everything, because the paramedics were being controlled by Aya. Everything was being controlled by her. And that was what the kind of like the premise was. It was AI basically controlling every aspect of everyone's life. They give you some information, you believe it, and then you do what you will with that information. But either way, she's in control because she can just easily generate money into people's accounts and get people to do anything that they want. Or she might have dirt on certain people that she's ready to leak to the public. And she uses that to blackmail other people to getting those people to do what she wants. And so that's how the movie ended. And then she somehow brings the first family's child out of the blue, and then the family finally goes to her and they're like, oh my God, we found you. They didn't question a thing. They didn't question not a thing. They just accepted the kid. Aya pulls up in a Tesla and is like, just get in the car and, you know, await further instructions or whatever. Just do what you do. And they're just like in shock, like, wow, so yeah, we can't escape, and they have to just accept their life. They have to accept it. They ended off with I love you, and then they drive off, and that's it. That's the movie. And that's where I'm just like, well, yeah, like a lot of things just didn't make sense or add up to me with the things that certain people were doing and why it was done, because it just, I'm like, why? You didn't have to show up there. If you wanted to, you could have called the cops to go and see what was going on with your kids. Oh, I have information about my kid. They said that my kid is at this place, at this house, and this family has my kid. And then the cops would go and do a proper investigation, and then they see, oh yeah, we don't have no kid. It's just, yeah. It wasn't really something to think about. It was just something to see, and then to really just iterate like AI is taking over people and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I would not suggest that you go and see this in the movie. This is something that you can go and watch on streaming services, or, you know, you want some background noise, you can go and play this in the background, but this wasn't really it. But I will say that it kept me entertained. It's not hard to keep me entertained. When you have a little bit of mystery and stuff like that and trying to figure out stuff, I'm gonna be like watching and I'm gonna be invested, but I wasn't satisfied with like when things were getting solved. So my final verdict for this movie, I'm gonna give this movie a 5 because it was very like average. It wasn't really a standout. It didn't really have a compelling story, and it wasn't really all that interesting. I feel like the most interesting bit was when we got to the end, and I wanted to see more after that happened, but that's not what we got. We got the whole the in-betweens of how we get to meet the AI and how the AI works, and it's like we're kind of already used to how AI works and stuff like that, but this was just a more in-depth AI to where it's, yeah, doing the bills and it's like another person. So I guess this was character development for the AI or something. That's my final verdict. My final verdict, I'm giving it a 5. This movie gets a 5 out of 10. Thank y'all so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you guys went and saw AfrAID, let me know what you guys thought about the movie down in the comments below. Guys, we are making our way to 500 subscribers. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Everything is greatly appreciated. I love you guys. Thank you once again for making it all the way to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.